Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. So a little after 11 o'clock, it is 12/8/2015, 42 degrees in here. Got both lights on, so got that whole overcast thing going on. I don't know, feels like snow, but I guess it's a little warm for that. 5.4 degrees Celsius, 58% humidity. Anyway, welcome to Tuesday. So, here I am. Just quickly, this isn't what the list's about, but we added 3 new names to Harvey's shite list. DirecTV, they got added to the list because when they installed my dish up there, they took one of my cable TV boxes, and it took me over a week to get it back. You know, first it was the denial, we didn't take it, and then, oh yeah, we do have it, but it's on the truck that's out in Pennsylvania, and it was a whole big pest. So if you ever have DirecTV to your house because you're getting rid of cable, don't let them take your boxes, your cable boxes, because if they do, you got to buy them from the cable company. And let me give you a hint: after you rent them from the cable company for 100 years, they don't discount them. They still want like $300 for them. So don't let anybody steal your cable TV boxes. Dr. Artero, I'm supposed to have a physical this morning. You know, the whole fast thing. Well, she calls last night late, like, yo, cancel my appointments tomorrow. I mean, hopefully nothing tragic happened in her life, but she completely dicked over my schedule. And last, Home Depot, though it was only a minor infraction. I went to buy some hinges from them because I didn't like the ones I bagged from the barn. The ones from the barn were kind of crappy. And I probably already lost them. Yeah, I already lost them. Anyway, so I go over to Home Depot and I buy these hinges. These are the crappy ones from the barn. Yeah, I don't like them, so I got better ones, which aren't all that much better, but anyway. So they were supposed to be 3 of them for $7.98. I go up, and the thing reads $10.98. And I just, come on. The thing said $7.98. And she goes, well, it rings up $10.98. I said, okay, and I handed, I handed her the hinge. She scanned it. She handed it back to me, right? And, at that point, she told me $10.98. I handed the hinge back to her, and I said, thank you, but no thank you. And I started to walk away, and she goes, no, wait. And she, changed the price to $7.98 like it should have said. Now, guys, is it just me? I mean, or is everybody going from store to store and they're playing with the prices? You get told one price and then you get hit with another. I've just going through my list here. I got hit with that at Sam's, and then Adams, and now Home Depot. Adams didn't do anything about it. Sam's, I made enough of a stink where they removed the thing, and then Home Depot, they fixed it. But if you're out there buying Christmas presents or something, and you have 20 things put in the cart, and they bang you for a few bucks on 1 or 2 of them, you just got bit, right? And what are you going to do about it? You're going to go. I mean, I normally don't check receipts. I normally just kind of, as I'm buying stuff, I come up with a rough estimate in my head. And, if it's 50 cents, $1 more, I normally don't pick up on it unless the numbers are easy, like $2.99. $2.99 times 2 with no taxes, less than $6. When it comes up over $6, you say, yo, are you charging me tax? And then, Adams overcharged me. So, what is this video about? This video is about a couple of projects that came in. Once winter sets in and I want to be able to work on things, I need to have some projects that I have everything here on. And supposedly, given that it's almost the middle of December, we are supposed to be having winter, though we're not, and I'm good. I'm happy with that. But some of the projects are coming in. Just a quick thing here. This is Tiger Claw 1500 watt. This is a pure sine wave inverter. One of the people I subscribed to, and he subscribed to me, William Shatton, did a nice review on this thing. Damn Teletubby. So he really likes it. I also, for those of you guys who don't deal with inverters, there are basically kind of three kinds. You have the semiconductor, the solid state, pure sine wave, and that it comes up with something that's really pretty close to a sine wave. It's not really like a sine wave that comes in off the power lines, but it's pretty close to it. So you got this version. Then you have, they call it an inverter, but it's actually a square wave. It just kind of it kind of just, and the positive about that kind of inverter is they're pretty cheap. The negative about that kind of inverter is they're not as efficient. They're a little harder on your electronics. And personally, I wouldn't run electronics on it. I'd run a circular saw on it. I might run my refrigerator that doesn't have any electronics in it, but I wouldn't run my TV set because I don't want to blow up my TV set. So these pure sine wave inverters are a little more expensive, and to be honest with you, I forgot what I paid for this. It was under $200 or around $200. And the reason why I forget, on some of these it's like make an offer, and sometimes they accept your offers and sometimes they don't. So anyway, they accepted my offer on this. So I got the inverter. I have a couple of charge controllers upstairs. This is a 100 watt solar panel, and I have two of these, this one here, and there's another one here, right in that box. And I'm going to put a little system together. Now, everybody, you got to make a decision when you're putting together a solar installation. What is my goal? What am I trying to do? And my goal is to have enough backup battery power to run my pellet stove and the light. Why? This house, if I'm running my pellet stove, I could stay warm, and if I have a light, I could read, and I can even plug in a little radio to hear what's going on. Or if I really want to go crazy, it's going to shorten my time, the amount of time I'll be running. But I could even plug in a TV set and the direct TV box, and then I can see what else is going on in the world, just in case there's a situation I should actually be monitoring. The panels will be on this side of the house, and I just showed you 200 watts worth of panels. I'm going to set up it with two separate charge controllers, two separate banks of batteries, and they're also going to have some Harbor Freight, those 45 watt panels. So there's going to be like one panel twisted a little like this, so it kind of gets the morning sun. The 200 watters, they're going to be set up for noon, and then for the afternoon there's going to be another couple of Harbor Freight panels. So there's going to be like 60 watts worth of Harbor Freight panels, and 200 watts worth of the other panels, basically 130 on each channel, so to speak, and there's going to be two channels. My pellet stove uses about 80 watts. The inverter isn't 100% efficient, call it 100 watts. And then the light and all that. I figure with a couple of 6-volt big good golf cart batteries, about $250 worth of batteries per channel, so $500 worth of batteries, I'll be able to run for my 24 hours. And putting the power back into them during the summer, if I have 12 hours of sunshine, it'd probably still take a couple of days to get both battery banks up to par. My real trick, though, is I really want to make it to daylight, right? If I could get to daylight, then I could fire up the generators and do whatever else I need to do. But once again, the trick is to get through the night. I also have UPS to put the pellet stove on, and power supply, uninterrupted power supply, power source, whatever. So what I'll do is I'll plug the pellet stove into the UPS and then plug the UPS into the wall. And if the power goes out, I have 5 or 10 minutes to flip on the inverter and power up the UPS to the inverter. Or very quickly I can actually unplug the pellet stove and plug it directly into the solar system. That the fan will stop for a second, but it takes about a minute for the stove to go out. So anyway, that's one project. Stay tuned. The Hoard is going solar. Once again, my goal is, and I could put solar panels all over the roof and sell power back to the utility and all that crazy stuff. That's not my goal. That's what my goal is just to create a source of electricity to tide me over if I'm if the power goes out for a little while. Just something to keep me alive, so to speak. Just and with that, quite honestly, I'd also be able to, if I had to, run the refrigerator for a little while, or the freezer, but I have the generators to really run the real loads. I'm just trying to stay warm, but just to give me an alternative. As time passes, depending on how well this works out and everything else, there could be a possibility of expanding the system and eventually trying to assign it certain tasks around the house. A task like my wife has an LED light, 4 lights in it. It's a chandelier. It's actually got a fan. It's a ceiling fan with 4 lights in the chandelier. They're LEDs. And they only use 7 watts each. So theoretically, I could assign the task of lighting those lights to solar power, right? So that every day those lights run on solar power. It's not going to save me much. We're looking at like 15 watts, right? 30 watts. But the trick is to get all this stuff functioning and using it. And I think one will just, if you've never had solar panel power, it's easy to talk about it. It's easy to read about it. But until you actually live it, you don't know what you have. I've watched, once again, back to William Statton. He set up a couple of 100 watts worth of panels on his roof for a shed that he has, and he runs his place on those solar panels and batteries. Right? He doesn't have power there. I mean, he even runs a microwave to toast up his lunch and everything. So it works, but until you do something, you've really not done anything, right? You could read about it, you could dream about it, but at some point you actually have to do it. The panels cost me, I think, they were pretty reasonable. They were less than 300. The batteries will be just under 5. The charge controller will be, the charge controllers, they're actually pretty cheap. They're like $40. I think I'm going to have about $1,000 tied up in the whole project when I'm done. But I don't know. Is it worth $1,000 for when the power goes out, that you don't have to start an engine or anything, that you know your pellet stove is running and that you're warm and everything's good? Or for some people, probably not. But for me, it's worth about that $1,000 investment, and it's an intellectual pursuit. It's something to think about. It's something to talk about. It's I don't know. It's something I want to do, so I'm doing it. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and folks, please get out there and enjoy all your days. Don't let any days get away from you. Okay, folks, bye now.